My goldfish passed last night. He was 3 years old. His name is Fishy. And I'm glad that he was able to pass on because he was struggling for 2 days. And while it saddens me, I constantly think about death, and in the last few years, it's been reframed for me in a lot of different ways. And that our energy, it never dies, it's just transformed. And that's kind of like the laws of physics, like energy is neither created nor destroyed, kind of like how when we eat, we essentially are breaking down that food is dying and it's becoming our bodies. And even like as we speak and as we breathe, like our cells, like they're constantly dying within us and being brought anew. So while I just feel more thankful that I, had a little companion over the last 3 years. I never thought that I would know a fish. I never thought that a fish could be so intelligent. I'll be quite honest with you. I was amazed at his intelligence, how I would walk in the room and he would just swim up in his bowl, or like I could walk around a table and he would follow me. And, I just was amazed by him in so many different ways, as I'm amazed with my own body. And yeah, just the life and the death cycle, like, and we call these, like, we're constantly saying, like, we call it neurogenesis or melanogenesis, like, when you go in the sun and your skin and your tan grows, or your skin changes, like that is us, like, dying and becoming anew, like right in that moment, right? Like when we work down, we're essentially ripping up the muscles, we are dying and becoming anew. And I don't know why I was brought back to this moment. I was on a ski trip with my family like not too long ago, and we were eating some like processed foods or whatever. And I try to be pretty consistent outside, so that in the moments where the processed food comes up or the sugar comes up, like I don't even worry about it too much anymore, because I try and cover my bases outside of those moments, because you can't be perfect all the time, you know what I'm saying? And too rigid with things. But my family was like, one of them said, "Oh, this is like super bad for us, like blah 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 blah." And my aunt was like, "Well, this is not gonna kill us, right, Rachel?" And I, like, I was turned around. I just turned around and looked at him, and I just kept making my little sandwich because I was hungry and I had to go back on the slopes. But like, in essence, like, you think to yourself, like, trillions and trillions of cells, like diabetes, energetic diseases, any type of disease that we may face, like we essentially have dead cells or struggling cells in the body. And like a phone battery, like the phone battery, it doesn't have to, like, it can live on 30%, right? It can even live towards 15%, 5%, right? And that's how our bodies go most of the time in our lives, especially when struggling with things like diabetes, which is diabetes type 3 is Alzheimer's and dementia. So it's like our bodies are somewhere on the energy scale of, we're in between struggling. We kind of look like a plant, like a dead plant with brown leaves. And we just go around with accepting all these pains, accepting the fatigue, accepting the rigidness and the stiffness of getting old. But, we don't ask ourselves, like, are we really living? Is our body, like, filled with energy? And then how can I expand in on this energy? So, I didn't answer that question. Essentially, like, yeah, the processed foods, like, they don't fully offer my body. They are not organic. So if I'm putting inorganic things, I'm basically putting death into my body, because if I'm not putting live things into my body, organic molecules that my body can actually utilize and work with, like, I'm essentially feeding my body death in a way. And I struggled with my mitochondrial health when I was younger, like when I would be doing conditioning for sports. Me and my sister, like, we would easily have heat stroke. I didn't know that this was a sign of, like, mitochondrial damage in the body not being able to tolerate heat and cool itself down and regulate itself. I didn't know that at the time. And that's kind of why I've gotten into all of the health with the cell, is understanding, like, where are you if you're in this in-between place, and how do you get to a place where you are feeling better and like feeling like you're radiating and feeling like you have energy, because I've definitely found that, over the course of the last few years that I've been studying and learning and practicing my daily habits, like I have grown in a lot of energy in my body. So yeah, my fish did pass away, and it was a beautiful time period. So, I think that the body, like our life goes on. I used to get hung up with death a lot. Like it used to be very heavy on me, but like I know my fish is swimming around me right now as I'm speaking, like our bodies, like this life is like a dream, like it never dies. I wait tables during the week, and oh my gosh, someone's so funny. Like I went and I dropped off their food, and like it looked so good, and we were just having a good time, and they were like, oh, I think this is a dream. And I looked them in the eyes like, this is definitely a dream. And it is a dream, like what is this reason that we're here? How do you go to sleep every night and you have these weird, crazy dreams? It's like, how is it sometimes you see the world so negatively and sometimes you see it so positively? Is it all just a dream? Maybe it is. I don't know. I think it is just a dream. And you can view the dream however you want to view the dream. It's just ask for clarity. How can I see this in a different life? How can I see myself in the most beautiful light? How can I be easier on myself, kinder to myself? How can I be more helping towards others? Asking you shall receive. May you always be blessed with the clarity to know what is and what isn't for you. I love you so much. I'm going to go now. I am having a small burial. My family is coming over, and we are going to bury my fish under the willow tree, which, if you don't know, the willow tree is where aspirin comes from. All of our medicine comes from nature. Remember that, how powerful your body is, and the nature is for healing your body. So anyway, I must go. I hope that you have a wonderful night, and I will see you next time.